the second one of these that we've done, and it's a live comics reading. And so what's going to happen is that I'm going to give a brief introduction of our four readers, and then they're going to, well, I'll give an introduction of the first. That person will read, and then we'll move directly to the next person, and then we're going to do like a question and answer type of thing if you want to at the end. And if you don't, I might ask some questions anyway. Um, so our readers tonight are Kevin Curley, who's first, Karen Knighton, who is second, and then Zeck M, who is number three, and our final reader will be Erin Fitzgerald. So everybody wave hi to our artists. Thank you so much, artists, for coming. And for agreeing to share your work in this really weird format. And thank you so much, guests and audience, for coming to see this really bizarre, futuristic way of engaging with comics art. Our first artist is Kevin Curley. He was born on Long Island in the early 80s. He makes comics that are weird and might make you chuckle uncomfortably and say, ah, I know that feeling. His drawing table is in the basement in Waxhaw, North Carolina. I'm not doing the accent. Will you do the accent for me?
I don't have the accent, so I don't.
All right, fair enough. And let's see. He lives and his studio is in his home, in his basement, where his wife and children are up above, and he's down there doing art. And you can find his stuff on Instagram at Bucket of Size. You can also support his comics by buying something on his Etsy shop, which is Etsy Bucket of Size. So he's going to go ahead and share his screen now. Everybody can mute their audio, and he will start.
Okay, bear with me here. Okay. Is it coming through okay? Good? Can you hear me? Okay. All right, yeah, so I'm just gonna go through these and read them aloud. And I won't say anything if it's silent. Hey man, how's it going? Hey, I'm good. How are you? Why'd you say good? You're doing well. You should have said I'm doing well. People are going to think you don't speak proper English. Okay, whatever. Not all people are as anal retentive as you are. It's perfectly acceptable. Sorry, as you are. People say good all the time. It's perfectly acceptable and it doesn't make a bit of difference. Stop thinking about it. Doing really well, thanks. And that's the end of that one. Most of these are pretty short, so. Sound of someone typing on their keyboard. My husband lost his job and the rent is due. My child is hungry. Oh no, sending thoughts and prayers to you. Someone needs us. Hello, ma'am. We're thoughts and prayers your dear internet friend sent us. Oh, how wonderful. How are you going to help me and my family? We aren't. That's that one. This one's called Pizza Party. Last year, we went to Florida for my wife's family reunion. When we walked into the house on the first day, there were stacks of pizza on the counter. I began to question my choice of t-shirt for the day. I still dwell on the thought that my wife's family thinks I was really that excited about the prospect of pizza. Funnily enough, I actually was wearing that t-shirt today, and I changed shirts specifically so that I wouldn't be wearing that t-shirt when I read this comic, because I think that would have been entirely too much. Right. This one's called My Neighbor's Hawk. My Neighbor's Hawk by Kevin Curley. I've been noticing a hawk in my neighbor's yard. Maybe it has a nest there or something. The neighbors have a little dog. Large birds like that have been known to fly away with small pets that are left outside. I should probably give them a heads up. It would be the neighborly thing to do. That's the end of that one. And this is the final one. Ring, ring, ring. Sound of cell phone ringing. Hey, Pop. How's it going? Hey, Kevin. I'm just sitting here. I have the fan on. There's some weeds by the garbage can. I sprayed some weed killer. Your Uncle Butchie's driving a Chevy now. The windows are real dark. He tinted them. They look real sharp. He paid $1,400 for it. I'm watching the Animal Planet. I tell you, these people must really love their jobs with the animals. They cry when they die. They're like their family. They still have that corona down there? I have my mask in my car. These idiots not wearing their masks, spreading disease. Now there's all these people rioting, and that cop killed that guy. He shouldn't have done that. He sat on that man and he killed him, and I hope he gets what he deserves. These cops are too rough and they're killing people. But, yeah, I enjoy watching the Animal Planet. There's no violence and everyone gets along. It's hard without Grandma here. I miss her so much. I know you do, Pop. I miss her too. And that's it. That is all my short comics.
Okay, everybody, you can unmute yourselves and give Kevin some digital noise. Make some digital noise for Kevin.
Bravo.
Awesome.
Bravo.
Yay.
Yay.
Yeah, Kevin.
Hey,
Meat necklace.
Thanks everybody for bringing the digital noise for Kevin.
Thank
Do you have anything well, actually, let's move on to the next reader. And then when we get to the end, we'll ask questions for everybody. What do you think? All right, super. That's how we'll do.
Oh, I would like some commentary from Kevin about his comic. Just a little bit. Or should we wait till the end?
We'll do it at the end.
Okay.
I'm itching to ask him stuff, and I've already been talking to him for over a year now. But okay, so everybody go ahead and mute, and I'm going to introduce our next reader, which is Knighton. Now, Karen is an animator and a comics creator and a teacher living on Cape Cod. She teaches traditional 2D and stop motion animation at Wheaton College. Her career has included working as a producer, animator, designer, and art director for clients big and small. Her interests in comics was formed from the desire to tell stories of stylized characters and invented worlds. She's currently working on a book about an amnesiac bunny who's being followed by a ghost. And Karen's going to set up now, and her comic is going to be mostly pretty quiet, but she'll read when there's dialogue, and when there's not, there'll be a nice sound. Are you all set, Karen?
I'm set. Actually, so this section only has one line of dialogue, so I put together this video walk through the panels and added a soundtrack. So I'm not going to read any of it. Okay, shout out if the sound doesn't work.
Thank you, Karen. Please show your virtual appreciation for Karen.
Woo!
Thank you so
That
much.
was wonderful.
That was so beautiful.
So we're gonna save doing questions and stuff for the end, and we're gonna move to our next reader, who is Zeck, and Zeck M is a queer artist enrolled in the 2020 SAW 6-month graphic novel intensive program. Zeck's been drawing comics since grade school and is in the process of creating an original graphic novel. When not working on their novel, Zeck is a big fan of the Transformers franchise and makes loads of fan content for it. Some of that content you can even buy. All right.
I forgot to promo my store. I told you, yeah, you can buy it, but I didn't tell you where.
We'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, I will put it in the chat in a second. One note on my comic, as I'm looking at it, I realized that I saved over the last couple of pages of typesetting with my original handwriting. So you've got like 12 pages of really nice, like computer generated text. And then like the last couple pages are my scraggly handwriting. And I'm like, how did I save over and not notice? That's like great. So let me see if my computer will work. Give me a second. Fairy talk or something, so it's not embarrassing.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna mute you while you. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. So Zoom, I just learned how to use it. Pretty good, right? So Karen and Kevin and Zeck and Erin have all been going to the SAW's virtual draw jam. And draw jam is where we get together and we sit together for 2 hours on Thursday night and we draw and we shoot the breeze and we just talk about stuff. And it's a thing that we used to do here in Gainesville, Florida at SAW, in the actual SAW building. And then the pandemic came and Tom said, can we do it online? And I said, yes. And then he said, can we do it tomorrow? And I said, yeah. And he said, can we do it every week? And I said, yes. And I didn't know how to do that yet, but I figured it out in one day. And we've been doing it since. So here we go.
Yes!
We're ready.
I'm so excited it worked because one time during the trial run, my computer completely froze for like 5 straight minutes. Anyway, this is Catnip Mice, a comic I drew in 2016 about a robot pet sitter, Dio, and one of her clients, you know, who has cats. Here we go. Work. Oh, you butthole. There we go. Thank you. Miss Scott? I'm so tired of all you damn solicitors. Oh. Hi, I'm Dio, the pet sitter. Sorry. The kitchen's right over there. Make yourself at home. Queen! Do you want something to drink? Oh no, but thanks. So, you came very highly recommended. Hey, Queen. Yes, I work at the shelter. I've been there for years. I've taken care of lots of cats, from kittens up to an 18-year-old grandma. 18? Wow, mine are only 5 and 13. Sweet sound of a tea kettle. Crap! The tea! So is it a long drive? Not really. I live downstairs. Really? Damn, that's convenient. She likes you. You have 2 cats, right? But Fuzzball won't show up without a bribe. Oh, I almost forgot. Rustle, rustle, rustle. Ta-da! And then fuzz. You'll do great. Ta-da! That's fine.
Yay!
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Zach. Okay, so our last reader is Erin Fitzgerald. And Erin is an artist, an art nerd, and a multi-dimensional artist. She likes to draw and write and play music and often cross-pollinates those in the process. Her current cartooning projects include a single panel series called Spectrum, a graphic memoir in progress, WTF Dad, and a graphic memoir mixed media musical, In Quest. Tonight's reading will be an excerpt from WTF Dad, and you can check out her social media at Spectrum Cartoon on Instagram.
Thanks, Barry. This is so much fun. All right, let me see if I can get the screen share to work. And hopefully my internet will last through my presentations closer to 10 minutes, so hopefully it will last through that time. Okay. WTF, Dad? Act 1, they meet. Eek. Hello. WTF, Dad? WTF? Where the hell have you been? Where have you been? I've been right here. What the? Are you fucking kidding me right now? You haven't been here since 1979. I mean, come on, look at that tie. I haven't been on the planet since 1979. I'll give you that. I'm talking about the recesses of your mind. I've been right here. Where have you been? Yeah, facing old baggage is not my strongest suit, I guess. Hey, did you just call me an old bag? Just kidding, sorry, just kidding. Excuse me for trying to break the ice a little. Well, excuse me if that ice is a little thick yet. Yeah, okay, totally fair. You think? Why are you trying to flip this back on me anyway? I mean, you're the one who checked out. Yeah, I know. It's just that I was hoping you might check in every once in a while, you know? Why is it up to me to check in? Why haven't you checked in? I have tried. I've been right here, but you never came looking for me. Wait, hold up. I never came looking for you? What are you, a damsel in distress? Do you realize how passive aggressive that is? I just mean, it's your mind. You're the one in control of your own mind. Oh, that is rich. That's not funny. I'm the one in control of my own mind? Ha! A laugh riot. Well, then who is in control of your mind? I don't know. Who is in control of yours? Want to go to the movies? Okay. I suppose you think that's very funny, Harold. Harold and Maude, really? Shh. Oh, I love this part. She supplies the whole Southwest with chicken feed. Well, not the whole Southwest. OMG, why do I find that so funny? Because it is. Ha! But it's not even a main line or big gag. It's just a weird little sideline. Those are always the best ones. But why? I mean, why don't most people laugh at that line? And why do I? It's oddball humor. You come by it honest. Oh, Harold. Oh, Maud. That movie always gets me every time. Yeah, me too. Me too. Do you think it's weird to want to die just because of being 80? I don't know. I've never been 80. You know what's really weird? What? I'm older than you now. I mean, technically, you never made it to your 40s. Yeah, wow. I never thought about it that way. That is weird. Why'd you do it, Dad? It's complicated. Want to go to the fair? Okay. Wow. Yeah. What to do first, right? Yeah, actually, what about putting down that briefcase and maybe a change of clothes? Okay, yeah, okay. I mean, up to you. You're the one who drew me this way. Yeah, I know. I just didn't know how else to draw you. I could step into that porta pot over there and change. What should I wear? Whatever, surprise me. Maybe I should shave off these sideburns while I'm at it. Lose the tie, keep the burns. Okay, ready or not, here I come. Okay, ready, let's go. Ta-da! Okay, totally not ready. OMG. What? Oh, come on, it's kind of funny. Do you have any clue how not right you are? WTF, Dad? Sorry, that was bad. I'll change. No need, it's all good. Let's go. That is fucking hilarious. Hang on a minute, I'll be right back. Okay, I'll be right here. What was I thinking? Okay, ready or not, here I come. Ta-da! Hey now, what are you trying to say? Oh, thank God. Oh, spare me, you never liked disco. True, still, where'd you get that shirt? Oldest brother. Right. Apple tree? Okay then, what first? My stomach is kind of growling. You hungry? I could eat. Funnel cake? Not really feeling sweets. Oh, neither am I. The trick is to ask for it plain, then put garlic salt and cayenne on it. Brilliant. Really? You think so? Most people think that's crazy. Well, I'm not most people. Also, I am crazy. 2 cakes, hold the powder. Here you go, 2 naked cakes. And a little bit of fairy dust, and voila. Oh my God. I think I'm in love. This is heaven. This is living. What? Nothing. You know what this reminds me of? What? Camping toast. Oh yeah? What's camping toast? What's camping toast? What do you mean, what's camping toast? I'm sorry, you just invented camping toast. I did? And why are you back in your suit? And what happened to our garlic cayenne funnel cakes? And where is the fair? And where are we? No, 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 no. What just happened? Shit just got real. Act 2, shit gets real. What got real? It's complicated. That's okay. It's hard to explain. I'm all ears. You wouldn't understand. Try me. Okay, here goes. Hold on tight. This might be a wild ride. Okay.
Thank you, Erin. Thanks, everybody.
Great.
I want to know the end of this. That's not fair.
I have a comment.
All right, so what we're gonna do, because we want to keep it to under an hour and keep it brief, I'm just gonna go back and talk briefly to Kevin, and then some of you who had comments in the chat, if you remember them, you can share observations or questions. But I'm a big Kevin fan, so I have like this book of his, and I have this other one that he didn't even show, but it is fantastic, and on his Etsy page. So one of my questions for Kevin is like, can I get more grandpa?
Like the funny thing is that comic is a literal word for word conversation that I had with him, because he's an 83-year-old man and he's alone. My grandma died a few years back, and so every time he calls me, it literally is just it's a one-sided conversation essentially, and he just tells me everything that he did. So I mean, I guess I technically could transcribe every every conversation like that, but I don't know. But yeah.
And Beth, you were making some observations about the thoughts and prayers. Did you have any observations about them that you wanted to share?
mostly I just loved the fact that they were embodied and that they went where they were sent. And then somebody else made the hilarious comment about the wheelie cart they were in, which was that you, Barry? I don't even remember who it was who said it. I mean, just the concept of embodying them and sending them out into the world was, I just loved it. I loved it.
I have like this, I'll probably never do it, but I just had like pictures in my mind, snapshots of like thoughts and prayers throughout history, like just like at like the Hindenburg disaster and like stuff like that. Like they're just kind of standing around, you know.
All right. And you can also throw your questions into the chat if you like, or any comments that you want to make. And we don't have to stick with just Kevin's. So, Karen, yours has been a project that you've been working on for quite a while. And you went away for a while and made me really scared that you wouldn't come back. Why did you do that?
I started this project at the storytelling flow class like a couple years ago, and then kind of it ebbed and flowed, and then the graphic novel intensive, worked on it there, and then had a baby last September, so that was distracting and wonderful. And then we finally kind of got some routine back like in the last month, 6 weeks, and so it was good to come back. I really missed Draw Jam a lot, and yeah, so I'm happy that I'm kind of back in the flow of the group and everything.
I know that somebody had some questions about how you pulled off the soundtrack and the timing.
You know, the soundtrack isn't that complicated. It's mostly just like some crickets and some birds, and you know, the bus thing was
because like you also have like pencil sounds just when he's writing on the bus.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something I do. You know, I work in animation and it's something that I've done a lot. So, yeah, I mean, I'm glad that like we had sort of talked about, you had asked if I wanted to do this, and I was like, well, I don't have any words in my comics, so I'm not sure how that's going to work. And then thought, well, actually I could do this. And so I'm happy that I was able to figure out a way to share it with people.
And of course, my other question is like, the bunny like ends up spending a lot of time looking for its missing ear. Does it ever get comfortable like living or being where it is while it's looking for the ear, or is it always sort of feel a little bit estranged from both the ear and the place where the ear landed?
The bunny gets very comfortable living in the small town and sort of reacclimates its life, and but is still sort of always looking for the ear, but definitely the ear becomes sort of a second tier. But there's this ghost that shows up and is sort of haunting the bunny, and that's not even, I didn't even get to the ghost tonight. But yeah, I don't think the bunny will ever really get the ear back. Spoiler, but
Jeff had a question. Do you want me to read your question, Jeff, or do you want to say it?
Hey, I just didn't want to interrupt. I was just curious what software you used to time the soundtrack and everything. And the other thing I just wanted to say was that it reminded me of Reading Rainbow and like some of the stuff in the
yeah,
late 80s, early 90s that where they would have people drawing, like they would kind of do the sketches like as they were reading it, and it just I was immediately at peace once it started, and I started thinking of that. It was great. I was really blown away by it.
Wow, yeah, Reading Rainbow. I haven't thought about that in a long time. Oh, thank you. That is a compliment. I just timed it out in Premiere. And so Beth, I was seeing your comment. It's all drawn in Procreate, all digital, and then just timed it in Premiere.
That's awesome.
It's wonderful. Thank you.
I thought maybe it was in Procreate. I couldn't remember from just being in various things with you, but I thought so. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
Thanks, Beth.
Thanks, Karen. Hey, Zeck, you're off my page. You're on page 2.
I'm here.
Okay, good.
Hello.
So this is a comic that you've had around for kind of a while.
Yeah, it's my first, not my first foray into webcomics, but the one that probably got the most amount of pages when I was updating it. I drew it in 2016, and then when I went back to school in 2017, I thought, you know what's a great idea when I'm spending like 20 plus hours a week in school, to start and update a webcomic. That would be a great idea. So there's actually a couple extra chapters to this comic. But these two characters eventually like date, and they've been stuck on their first date since like 2017.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah. They've been stuck there. Like, just and I like every now and then I come and look at it and I'm like, I should finish this, but I'm like, my drawing style has like not like changed.
It really has changed a lot. Like,
yeah, and I'm like, they don't look anything alike.
Yeah. So, like, Erin mentioned that like a robot that's good with cats is kind of funny.
Yes, it's DL. It's all the cats are actually based on cats I've either taken care of or had. So it's like all my cats.
Do cats get bothered by that? Because like sometimes people don't like it when you put them in your art, but like, do cats care about that?
I mean, do you take it as a sign of them disliking it if they sit their little butts on my sketchbook every time I try to draw?
I knew it was that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. My favorite line is when the robot actually lives downstairs.
Yes. It's like, oh, you must have come such a long way. No.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Zeck, for reading. I really appreciate it. And Erin, if anybody has any questions for Erin and they want to put it in the chat or they want to say it out loud, they can do that. But I'm a big fan of everyone, but I'm also like a big fan that Erin sent me a calendar. Don't take it personally that I don't use it. I don't use any calendar.
Multi-purpose.
Yeah, I knew you did it on purpose.
It's a book too, so.
Yeah. And this comic, like, you have a number of completed comics. Like there's one where there's a lot else going on in this, but your face cracks in half in one of your comics, and then your neighbors strap it to the roof of a car and drive your face to the hospital.
Yeah, that one's an inquest.
So good.
Thank you.
Has this one been in color all along, or did you decide like at a certain point midway through to be like, oh, this needs color?
I didn't think it would be in color, and I'm not any good at color generally. Like I don't like to put color on a page. It terrifies me. And so I had inked everything, pencil and ink on paper. And then when the graphic novel intensive 6-month course came up, I decided to sign up for it, and first was like, I'm going to do a whole different project. And then realized that was foolish and decided to work on this for a while. And I had just gotten an iPad and gotten Procreate and thought I'll try doing color that way, because then I don't have to put it on the paper and worry about renting everything, and then I can edit things as needed. So it was kind of accidental, but it's funny now because I look at it and I can't imagine it not being in color. but I never envisioned that it would be in the first place because I don't usually do color or very much.
I can't remember who it was in here who commented on the color and particularly like the yellow. Yeah, that was Beth. Yeah, and someone else mentioned like you zoom in and out a lot, like zooming in on people's expressions and things like that. How, like, is that something that sort of like, oh yeah, Bev, that's a good one. Yeah, and there is a sort of 70s feel to it as well.
That's what I was trying to go for with the colors, why I thought it made sense to try color, because
Yes.
he died in 1979, so it was like he's stuck in the 70s, and that's kind of why the Pac-Man thing ends up being somehow in there because he like just missed that era. So any of the 80s stuff is like stuff that he wouldn't get. I don't know why I put Pac-Man and stuff. I put Pac-Man in Inquest too. I'm not really sure why, uh, but yeah, the colors. I'm trying to go for some sort of vibe with the colors. But yeah, those close-ups and stuff. I mean, probably it started because I was like, I don't, even though it's simple drawing style, I had just started cartooning when I first started doing this, and I was probably just like, "Ooh, I don't want to draw that little coat and tie every single time or whatever." Like I probably partly did it just to mix it up for my own self.
Great.
I felt like it needed space in between the stuff, so doing those close-ups allowed a little bit of space. Yeah.
So Brian, I hope you don't mind if I put you on the spot, Brian Beardsley, because you have an observation that I missed, which is word balloons breaking the panels. Can you describe where you saw that and what effect you think it had? Okay, either he's frozen or he's just like, no, Barry, I don't want to.
Sorry, you really put me on the spot. I didn't realize you couldn't ask me to speak. Oh, you want me to talk? Oh no. No, I just noticed that there was interesting moments where Erin, you sort of break that fourth wall, so to speak, where you have word balloon tails that go from one panel and break the gutter into another panel, or even one panel I remember where the character is reaching through the gutter to the other panel. I was kind of curious to like, what were you playing with space and time in those moments? What kind of inspired you to do that?
Yeah, I love a fourth wall break. I mean, the whole thing's a fourth wall break, really, and the whole thing's so absurd and abstract and outside of reality, inside of my own head, and all of that stuff. That I mean, it's so non-traditional in that way that I don't know why I get such a kick out of that sort of thing, but then to add more and more layers on it, and actually as it goes on, the stuff that comes after this just does that more and more. And does more of the fourth wall break and of the absurd crossover stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I guess playing with space and just like it's already starting out so absurd that if you're going to go further into a device, you kind of have to go all the way there because it starts out in a really absurd place to begin with.
Yeah, what's interesting to me is that, Scott McCloud talked about the gutters are that the reader's mind is making that transition from one panel to the next, but you're sort of filling in that transition in a way. So that was kind of interesting to me. The technique you're using there is quite fascinating.
I think part of it too is that for whatever reason, I later decided the reason, and that justifies it for me somehow. But for whatever reason that I have it 8 panels every time, and that I don't change up the panel sizes, or much later toward the end of the section I'm working on now, which is the last section, is the first time that changes up. So it goes through 100 plus pages with it still being 8 panels per page in the same arrangement. So those other things that happen with it, it's like that's a way to mix it up so that it's not boring to look at that. Say, I don't get bored looking at a grid that doesn't change, but I know that it's kind of that's kind of breaking a rule of comics anyway. A lot of people talk about that. You should, mix it up a little bit and move your panels around. And so I guess I'm compensating for that by making weird stuff happen within them or crossing through them.
No, thanks for that. I don't want to monopolize, but there's one other thing I noticed too. I love that to me, where there's those moments where the character's talking and then there's like two panels and them just looking at each other. That to me is like those awkward moments where maybe you're at a party or something and then someone says something, they say back, and then you just stand there. And you're like, there's that like awkward, tense moment. I felt that when you wrote that. It's like, oh, I recognize those things. Like, I don't know what else to say.
Thank you. I'm glad that came across.
Well, everybody, this was really great. Thank you so much to the readers. And thank you so much for joining us and for coming to watch. This is a really neat thing to do, and I feel really grateful and fortunate that we get to do this thing. So if you have any feedback, or if you want to say anything to the artists later, you can go to the Saw Mighty Network and say hi to them. And we'll do another one next month. And if you have any questions about that, let us know. And thank you so much. Have a great night.